welcome to the Palace Theatre in Paignton. Come on in, let me show you around. Hello, welcome to the Palace Theatre in Paignton. Delighted for you to be here with me today so I can tell you a little bit about the theatre and perhaps give you a little tour around. My name is Maureen McAllister and I'm one of the directors of Jazz Hands. We took over the Palace Theatre in 2018 and we've been running it ever since. Obviously we've been a little bit quieter since March this year, but we're getting back on our feet again. We've been doing a lot of work in the background and we're now starting to have a few audiences in for a few shows. So, the Palace Theatre, built in 1890, it's 130 years this year that she's been around, and she's going to be around for a whole lot longer with us looking after her. This is the main auditorium, which seats 380 people. With socially distanced audiences, we're getting about 120 at the moment. So you can probably see on the video some of these lovely little bows. This shows where the seats are blocked out, and we're changing that to configure for every single show. At the very back there, you can see the tech desk. That's where our technicians sit and control the lighting and the sound throughout every performance. And over in the right-hand side are two follow spots where you have to sit and concentrate and make sure that the follow spot follows the person on the stage and they're not waiting for the light to catch up with them when they move forward. And then just behind you is our stage. So this is our stage. Obviously when there isn't anything on the stage, there's a lot of work going on. So we'll be changing the lights or hanging new backcloths or painting or moving scenery. So when we actually have an event on with the lights on, it just changes, the magic of the place changes as soon as it comes to life again. And just beyond those doors there are the dressing rooms, which I will be taking you on a short tour of very soon. So welcome to Backstage. This is one of our dressing rooms. It sounds quite echoey actually, but it's never normally like this. It's normally much busier. So every single dressing room has mirrors, fabulous lights for doing your makeup. Each of the dressing rooms are colour-coded, so obviously this is the purple dressing room. When the performers arrive, there's always fresh flowers in here, fresh towels, kilner jars with sweeties, and drinks for them. So we really look after the performers, and that's one of the things that we are told is a real USP with this theatre, because not a lot of other theatres do that. So I'm going to try and get you to follow me now, and I'm going to do a whistle-stop tour around all of the other dressing rooms so that you can see what they're like. So this is the green dressing room, obviously, by the colour of it, you can see. Again, kilner jars, there will be fresh flowers in here, and with the new restrictions, there will obviously be hand sanitizer and also wipes, disinfectant wipes in here, but we would have to limit the use of this dressing room in the future to mirror the social distancing guidelines that we have within the whole theatre. So follow me downstairs. Obviously it's been quite quiet back here since the 16th of March. 16th of March was our last show, which was Freddie Mercury, where we had a sellout. To go from a sellout to an empty theatre was quite a shock. This is the red dressing room, because it's painted red. Again, every single dressing room has great lighting, sinks, and obviously the mirrors for people to get themselves ready when they are getting ready to go on stage. And then if you come through to the next one, this is the pink dressing room. Again, imagine fresh flowers, costumes hanging up, and then this one actually has also got an ensuite, so it has a shower room attached to it as well, and we've painted this a lovely pink. The next one in here This is the lime room. I like to call it mojito because it gives me a thought of a cocktail at the end of the night. And so this is quite a small dressing room, but it's great when you've got when everybody's using them for different elements of a show. So when we have panto and we do a competition for the cleanest dressing room every night, and it's great to see the competition between all the dressing rooms to be the cleanest that they can possibly be, and then they get a certificate and a gift from us every night, the cleanest one. And then this one is usually always one of the most cleanest because there's less people in it, and they always like to win. So the next one, we're going to go over this way. Again, another shower there. And then finally we have the yellow dressing room. Again, kiln the jars with sweets, and there would be fresh flowers and fresh towels in here for performers when they arrive. That's Backstage. So since Jazz Hands took over the Palace Theatre, we've made quite a few changes. One of the main things is removing the box office structure that used to be out here, giving us much more seating and made it much more open for our visitors that come in. At the top of the stairs here, there's an office that is for our tech manager, so that he can store all the information that he needs for every show. And I'm going to take you to the bar in a minute, but before I do, I just want to introduce you to Michael Portillo. Michael Portillo came to the theatre in 2017, and he's coming back again next year. He was the most charming man, and we had the most amazing evening with him, and the audience has absolutely loved it. So there was a bit about politics, but there was also quite a lot about his train journeys, and it was just incredible. Can't wait for him to come back. Just pop through here. This is some of the awards that we've won since we've taken over the theatre. So we won an Innovation Award and also an Access and Inclusivity Award, because we try as best that we can to make sure that the theatre is open and welcoming to everybody that wants to come here. So you are seeing us as our absolute cleanest. We've just had a new delivery of hand sanitizer. So when you look around the theatre today, it's not how it would be if you came to a show. You wouldn't see a stack of wet wipes looking like an odd Battenberg cake. But this is just all of our supplies, because we put hand sanitizer everywhere and we put disinfectant wipes everywhere. So obviously we're always having to reorder to make sure that we've got enough stuff for the people coming in. So moving over here, we had John Challis who came. If anybody ever watched Only Fools and Horses, and you remember John Challis was Boise. Again, the most incredible person who now really supports us on social media. And when we were granted some money from the Arts Council, I contacted him to ask him if he'd do one of the thank you videos for us, and it was back with me within 15 minutes. So he's amazing. These guys here, the Barricade Boys, they're all from the West End. And they formed their own organisation to do musical evenings, and they are incredible. They're coming back here in March, and I can't wait to see them on the stage again. The other person that came was Henry Blofeld. I haven't got any signature of his, but he was the most amazing man. I was contacted just before he arrived to say that he likes to have a little sleep before he goes onto stage, and was there a bed in the theatre. So I drove along the seafront with a bed and a mattress sticking out of my car's roof. So it was all ready for Henry, and he was just wonderful. We have been so lucky with the big names we've had at the theatre, but also our regulars. Bijou Theatre Company, we couldn't do half what we do without them and their support. Obviously Paignton Panto Productions, we work shoulder to shoulder with them. Doorstep, which is our youth theatre company downstairs and in downstage left. And all of the other regulars that we have coming to the theatre. So let me just introduce you to some more. This was the first show that I ever brought into the theatre, which was Lakme, one of the first operas that we've had. And that was the Swansea Opera Company. And they came after there'd been some issues with the theatres in North Devon, and they didn't have anywhere for their opera to play. So we brought them over here, and we sold out an opera within 3 weeks. And then we had Jason Donovan, who came here especially for me. It was fantastic to have somebody that I've been quite a fan of for many years. Aggers came along. Aggers was delighted that we'd put some melted Mowbray pork pies in his dressing room because he's from Mount Mowbray. So we do a little bit, well, he's from that part of the world, and so we do a bit of research about people. So not only do we get riders from them, but if we know them, then we also always make sure that there's something relevant to them in their dressing room. And then just here, the Three Billy Goats Gruff. This is Lost the Plot Theatrical. They're a new theatre company, and they developed Three Billy Goats Gruff here in the Palace Theatre, and they've toured it nationally. And they're coming back again this year with the magic of Christmas. So it's really great to think that this theatre is a hotbed for talent, as well as the young people we have working for us. We're also able to create opportunities for other people to create their own productions and then take them nationally. And then finally, over in the corner, hiding behind the plants, is Peter Andre. And when Peter Andre came to the theatre, people contacted us to say, what, the real Peter Andre? Because people were quite surprised at how the Palace Theatre had changed its programme quite quickly. But that's what we were here to do. We were here to develop the programme and to develop the audiences. And whether that's bringing in big names, whether that's working with our existing performers and performances, or also working with new people. So having Aging Well here doing their festival this year was incredible for us. Even though it's a festival online, to build those sorts of relationships is exactly what we want to do here in the theatre, because we're a community theatre.